Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Board of Supervisors meeting for Thursday, March 2nd. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting was duly advertised in the Lancashire newspaper in the effort of review, December 7th, 2022. There was one executive session held on February 16th after the meeting from 7:50 to 7:53 p.m. Personnel litigation regarding arbitration. This time, I need a motion for the meeting minutes.
I have no changes. So I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second that. Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0. Action items. I'll take those.
Bruce and Luna was here tonight with their consultants to discuss a possible waiver of land development. As you all know, about a year ago, they had some fire on their complex that destroyed some of their facilities. With that being said, Chris, I'll let you guys take over from there. There was a list of conditions that should be before you know. Tommy and our office coordinator saw an email recently that they were fine with those conditions. So, that being said, I will let them present.
Good evening. My name is Nick Corelli. I'm with McCarthy Engineering. Here tonight with regard to the Bruce aluminum property. As Casey had mentioned, the property experienced a fire about 2 years ago. And they would like to begin the build back process, get the foundry back at its full operating capacity. And we are here tonight in hopes of getting a land development waiver for what is proposed. So this is a overall view of the property. This is a zoomed-in view of where the work is being proposed. So this hatch right here was the old building location that was lost in the fire. It was a little over 11,000 square feet building footprint. What we are proposing is to convert that to gravel area and build back this darker shaded portion, which is about 1,500 square feet. And then a few locations throughout the site, down here and up here, various equipment for the foundry. Sand silos, cable blasters, air compressors, that kind of stuff, which would all sit on concrete pads, or in the instance up here, would be housed in a pole barn. The total square footage of what is being proposed is about 8,000 square feet less than what was destroyed in the fire. So we would be decreasing impervious area by a pretty significant amount. And then there is an existing pipe that comes to the property. Part of where we are proposing these pole barns is over that pipe, and it's corrugated metal pipe, and we would be looking to replace that concrete pipe beam that's under the buildings. So that is the summary of what we are proposing here. As Nancy mentioned, there were conditions passed along between your engineer and township manager. And our applicant has reviewed those to comply with all those.
Anything you want to add?
I guess just the overall impervious is less than what's existing there now. So as far as the possible waiver of land development, there would not be a need for a stormwater management plan aside from the items that are listed here as additions. So most of this we have under the township staff level. I know Matt's office already that had started preparing a stormwater management use agreement for the property to get that squared away. So I don't have anything else to add. What's before you tonight?
The action is only on land development processing because of the reduction in the impervious. No waiver of, or deferral of stormwater management is required because it's exempt from the application of the ordinance.
Because it has some credits, there are some conditions in here, such as some emergency service things that touch very briefly with some of those requirements, but in general, because they're essentially accredited sites,
Right.
they're less than the prior purpose values.
Got any questions?
I'm good.
All right, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve a waiver of land development for Bruce Aluminum, 77 North Reamstown Road in Stevens, PA, for various improvements as shown on the plans prepared by McCarty Engineering Associates, dated February 21st, 2023. No revisions, subject to the applicant satisfying all conditions noted in the Township Manager memo, dated February 24th, 2023.
And I'll second that motion.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries 2-0. Thank you.
Take your time.
All right, then next up for me, Morganshire Phase 2 and Phase 3. Morganshire had some lingering pipe issues downstream in their existing basin and the prior punch list that they were taking care of over the last couple of years. So they had a consultant or a contractor come in, make those changes. So at this time, we feel as though everything is satisfactory with Morganshire development. Obviously, the road has been dedicated some time ago. But with that being said, there's a motion before you tonight to authorize full release of the remaining financial securities.
For years, there's been, I guess, erosion in some of those basins, and they've been working at trying to heal in and get grass growing. They've finally gotten there then.
Yes, it was like I said, it was a longer process for them to obtain a record position now where the township actually signed off on some of those areas that you're discussing exactly, probably half a year ago, so they were satisfied with those. And then most recently, we were satisfied with back in Paris, and I went down through the main system where I was. I actually had to go back to the woods and dig out some old pipes and replace them completely with splash for the whole thing.
Really?
All right, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the full release of the remaining financial security associated with Morganshire Phases 2 and 3 upon receiving confirmation that the as-built plans were recorded.
And I'll second that.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Recording in
2-0.
progress.
If you lost internet, it was off for a while.
All right, and with that, unless there's anything further from me, that's all. Any further questions for Dr. Engineer?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So, members of the board, the next item on the agenda has to do with an application to the Township Zoning Hearing Board to be heard next Wednesday, March 8th. Tommy and I discussed the matter
It is a proposed industrial use on industrial zone property in the township. The industrial district requirements provide that the use, regional plan center front on an arterial road. And this industrial zone land does not have access to any arterial roads. So compliance with that criteria under the zoning ordinance in this case is an impossibility. You cannot develop the property and comply with that requirement of the ordinance. A request for a variance is required. It's the only way to address that. It can be exempted administratively. So the applicant, which is WICU Incorporated, has asked the township to consider communicating to the zoning hearing board no objection to the grant of that variance. So the township is always a party to every proceeding before the zoning hearing board, whether it chooses to participate or not. So communicating to the zoning hearing board would be as a party in that proceeding in addition to being the governing body of the municipality. I understand that there are some discussions that were had with the applicant that acceptable conditions to that include complying with all other traffic-related requirements of the township. And of course, that's not necessarily a zoning requirement if the project plan continues. This will be back in front of you to see it as a land development plan, probably a stormwater management plan, and all of that will have traffic-related implications.
And just to kind of add to that, WICU is currently using that road to begin with as well at the time. So
Correct, right, yeah,
that's their only access.
correct. This is, I should have said, a modification to an existing use. Yeah.
So in reality, we're not bringing any new, just confirming.
They're
That is okay.
already using it.
Yeah. And any implications the modified or increased use would have, if any, on roadway improvements would all be part of Plan development. So I think the suggestion is that you authorize me to communicate to the zoning hearing board that the supervisors do not oppose the relief sought in the application, and should the zoning hearing board, in its discretion, grant the relief, the condition of its approval will be applicant satisfying all traffic and all comments made by the township, the township traffic engineer at the time of the land development plan process.
On Zoom.
Okay, and that would be a motion as you read it then?
Right, to direct me.
Okay, and I will make that motion as read by Solicitor Green.
I will second that. Motion is second, all in favor? Motion carries 2-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, sir. Motion to appoint Reevestown pool manager and chemical operator. All right. So pool season's right around the corner, and it's that time of year again. We're planning for the 2023 season. Last year, we had the rec board The recommendation was to go with the effort of rec to manage the pool. And we had a separate provider doing the chemicals. This year, the rec board recommended that we go back with the effort of rec board again, managing the pool and
Recording in progress.
using Mr. Fry as a chemical operator for the pool season of 2023. Looking at numbers, it's going to be saving us significant amount of money doing that switch for the pool chemicals on the daily check. And our road crew is currently in the process of getting their chemical license, so next year, hopefully, we will be doing it on our own. Want to add anything?
Yeah, effort of rec center in managing the pool, they increased their rates this year. They're looking at $841 a day for that purpose, and if there's anything less than 4 hours where, the pool would close midday or so, that would come out to $476 for that part day. It's basically a 4% increase in rates from last year's. I guess the feedback from them is labor rates are going up. They're having to pay a little more per hour for the help, so they expect that from us as well. So, with us doing that the last several years with them, it's been basically a good situation for us to have them there. And it's my thought we continue with the effort of rec center in doing that pool management. So, I don't know if you're like-minded or...
Yep.
Okay. With that being the case, I'd like to make a motion to execute an agreement with Effort or Rec Center for management services at the Reamstown Pool for the 2023 season.
I'll second that. Motion is second, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries 2-0. Then we have the second part with the chemical operator.
Yeah, we were using a private contractor last year with varied results. There was a few times where it was challenging getting for the roadmaster to get in contact with them, and in the past, Mr. Alan Fry has done that job. He's got the license for it, and was very reliable in the past at being diligent about taking care of it. There was never any complaints that I ever heard about the water quality and the execution of the chemicals there. So I think it makes sense for us, as Lorenzo said earlier, until our road crew would get a certification there to hire Alan Fry on a part-time basis to be our chemical operator. So if you're good with that idea,
Yep.
I will make a motion to hire Alan Fry as chemical operator at the Reamstown Pool for the 2023 season, a part-time position at a rate of $20 per hour.
I'll second that. Motion is second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 2-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have on the agenda the establish the 2023 Reamstown pool fees. As Mr. Mitchell just said, costs are rising for all of us, including the pool, the operations, the chemicals. We are looking at rates. Last year we did the pool share with Denver, So we were doing where you can buy a pass from us. If we had a meet, you could go to Denver or vice versa. That seemed to work pretty good. We were hoping that Denver would have had some answers for us in stone on rates, if they were going to increase their rates for 2023 or not. That hasn't happened yet. So the ball's kind of in our court. After reviewing some of the fees from 2022, the main ones that popped up at me were the discounted rates. For families, there was big discounts of
Recording in
about
progress.
$50 max. Being that our fees went up and we got to try to recuperate some of the money somehow, one way, shape, or form, I was suggesting to possibly raise the discounted rate up a little bit, kind of halfway, and just raise those prices. And then there was a senior rate at $55. I was thinking about just leaving that the same for the seniors. They're on a fixed income. But I didn't know what your thoughts were, Mr. Mitchell.
I agree. I'd like to see some of this 4% increase recouped. I checked in, the other Cocalico pool would be down in Adamstown, and they told me that they're looking at a 5% increase in rates from last year to this year, for some similar reason, to help cover some of the increase in their labor rates. So, it seems to be somewhat of a district-wide thing about slight increases to help cover labor. I think that we should be doing something similar. We have a lot of rates to go down through here to kind of.
I'll throw my idea out there.
Okay.
Maybe we'll agree or disagree, and we can kind of go from there, if that's okay, unless you want to do it.
You got the floor, Mr. Chairman.
Perfect. All right. So the discounted purchase price that I'd like to see for 2023, daily pre-kindergarten is currently
Recording in
$1.
progress.
We leave that at $1. Daily senior citizen discount is currently at $2.50. We will leave that at $2.50 for 2023. Daily student discounted is $3.50. We will leave that at $3.50. Daily adults is currently $5. We will leave that at $5, the daily rate for 2023. You okay with those so far?
Well, on the regular purchase, the daily adult is $10. When you talk about a half price for discounted, is there something maybe a little more in the middle there that would suit you better?
$7.50.
Or how about?
So the daily adult price for 2023 would be $7 for 2023 instead of the $5 in 2022. Daily student, you okay with the $3.50?
Yes.
Okay. All right, this is where it gets kind of, the seasonal group pass up to $5. The 2022 rate, the discounted rate was $175. The non-discounted rate was $225. So I'd be proposing to bring that up to $200, so it'd be right in the middle. Split the difference. You're good with that?
Yep.
Seasonal senior is $25 on the discounted rate. Seasonal senior is $80 at a regular price. It's $55, sorry. I skipped one. There's so many. Seasonal group pass +1, sorry. Seasonal group pass +1 discounted for 2022 was $25. And that's the same for the regular, so we'll leave that as is for 2023. Seasonal senior discounted rate for 2022 is $55. Regular purchase price was $80. I'd like to see that stay the same, if that's okay.
Maybe the 55 should be 60. The discounted rate, it's 3/4 would be 80. It would be similar to some of the other increases.
All right, so 2023 senior discount rate will be $60 it'll be up $5, okay? Seasonal adult discounted rate for 2022 was $90. The non-discount was $115. I'd like to bring that up to $100,
Okay,
okay? Seasonal student discounted rate for 2022 was $55, and the regular was $80. I figured we'd throw 5 on that and make it $60.
okay,
Seasonal Cocalico swim team student discounted rate for 2022 was $25, and that's the same as a regular, and since it's the swim team, I figured we'd leave that the same.
okay.
Seasonal pool share pass group up to 5 people. The discounted rate for 2022 was $250. The regular price was $300. I figured we'd go up to $275 on that.
And that's one of those ones where there's a difference with
$50 difference.
what Denver's charging. Last year Denver was at $255.
Correct.
Well, maybe they'll come to where we're at. Okay,
Okay.
yep.
And just to clarify a little bit, if we speak to Denver in the next week or two prior to our next meeting, I'm assuming, Tommy, we can reevaluate the seasonal share pass price
Yes.
again.
Yes.
As of now, we'll just set the price. If they're okay with it, cool. If not, we will adjust it, okay?
Got it.
So the seasonal pool pass, group up to 5 for 2023 would be $275. Seasonal pool share pass group +1 is $25. I say we bring that up to 30, because it's the same price down below as a regular price.
Okay,
You good with that?
yep.
That's right, +1 for 30.
Seasonal +1 is 30 instead of 25.
The regular rate is 25.
We'll bring that up to 30 as well when I get there.
Okay.
Then the seasonal pool share pass student was 100 at the discounted rate. The regular rate was 150, and I figured we just bring that up to 125. Good with that?
How about if we do 120 there, kids?
Okay. 120 it is.
We want the kids getting used to that,
Okay.
if that's all right.
Yep. The regular purchase of the pass are for 2023. Are you thinking about leaving those the same or upping those a little bit? Because if we up it, then we're really not in the middle again.
That's correct. You did make the one change on the
Except,
group +1.
yep, to 30.
You know what, in past years, with this discounted rate, it brought a lot of preseason orders in. People were taking advantage of that, getting their passes early before the pool opened. You know, I'm pretty comfortable that those raises that you put in place there, that we put in place, should get us about where we want to be. I don't know that we have to touch the regular rates.
Do you want to touch the +1 down there to make it equal to that one?
With the $30 instead of 25, yeah,
All right.
we have to.
So the regular purchase prices will all stay the same, except for seasonal pool share +1, we're upping that to $30. Okay, Tom? All right.
You want to address the seasonal pool pass for adult, propose a new pass for this year?
What's that?
The,
Not available.
the second to last pass is a proposed new pass for this year.
Oh, okay.
You see Denver has,
Oh, yes.
proposed rates.
After a while, we get so many different columns here that we need a spreadsheet to cover it all.
So it looks like Denver has the regular purchase price of $205 for that, and $155 as a discount, correct?
Yes.
So perhaps seasonal pool share pass for adult, discounted rate for 2023 be $175, and the regular price be $205, like Denver's. We'll match them on that. Okay. I will make a motion to establish Reamstown pool fees for 2023 as read.
You don't want to go back down through all of
Yeah,
that?
I forgot.
All right, I will second your motion.
Motion is second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 2-0. This time, there's a motion for some bank transfers.
There it is.
Yes,
You want to discuss that, or you want me to do it, Tommy?
I can discuss it.
Go ahead.
We have an opportunity to transfer some of our funds to a bank that is currently paying a good deal more in interest. Finance director and I reviewed cash flow for the balance of the year, determining how much can be transferred to this new account and to realize some additional interest revenue. The board may, without interrupting cash flow, redirect up to $2.6 million to the account. With the additional interest, we calculate we'll receive approximately an additional $57,000 in interest through the end of this year.
And just to add to what Tommy said there, we had done that a couple different times last year, moving money from Effort and National Bank funds over to Univest to gain these higher interest rates. So this is just piggybacking on that to move more over to gain these higher rates. The rate at Effort just hasn't kept up to where Univest is, and I think it behooves us to move it over there just because of the, as Tommy said, the extra income is substantial money. So,
It's actually 5%.
currently, or it will be?
It will be next month, right?
Yeah.
Next month, it will be at 5%. So
Yeah.
that's a big jump.
Yeah, and I think Effort currently, they're 1.25. It's pretty obvious what the difference is there, so. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the transfer of up to $2.6 million in township funds from Effort and National Bank to Univest Bank and Trust Company.
Second that, motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 2-0. Department reports, there's nothing to report from the police department tonight. Financial administrator, no. Roadmaster, no. Building SCO, no. MS4, Ken, do you like that, anything tonight?
No, thanks,
All right, thank you, sir. Treasurer's report.
Well, that's good. Okay, treasurer's report. List of bills. General fund bank account list of bills in the amount of $40,365.34 dated February 15th through February 17th. Any questions on that list as presented?
Yes, sir.
Roy Wise. First page
check number 63598, NMS Labs for blood and alcohol testing. I take it that's when they catch a DUI. Does that get billed to that individual, or is the township picking up the tab for that?
We get reimbursed a quarter at a time.
Quarterly.
Or a penny at a time.
It is reimbursable, however,
Takes forever.
it doesn't come quick.
Okay,
It's part of the sentence.
okay. So they'd have to go through the whole system till, okay, all right, thank you.
Part of doing business.
Yes, sir.
On the second
Thank
page,
you.
Alan Maxwell, check number 63605 to Wellspan for alcohol testing. Is that also DUI testing? or-
No, that was part of our manager hire.
Ah, okay. Makes sense.
He passed with flying. Anybody else? Seeing nothing, I make a motion to approve.
I'll second that. Motion is second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 2-0.
Wait you pass, Tommy. Okay, list of bills, general fund bank account, list of bills in the amount of $100,803.43, dated February 18th to March 1st. Any questions on that list of bills? Seeing none, I make a motion to approve.
I'll second that. Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 2-0.
And I guess that's all I got tonight.
Thank you, sir. Tommy, anything to report under management?
No.
Thank you. New business? Anything? No? Old business? I'll just give an update. I received a text message today from EPNL, the guy that's in charge of all the streetlights and the developments. He gave me an update that Carriage Hills is being complete this week. Next week, Heatherwood's development should be completed. However, with the wind and kind of bad weather we had, they said it might push that back an extra week. But as of now, it's set for next Monday. So there'll be a lot of happy residents in Heatherwoods and Carriage Hills. They'll finally have their street lights. Anything else?
No, at this time.
Okay. Public comment, please state your name. That way we can get the meeting minutes right. And are there any questions? Yes, sir.
The gas
Name,
station,
please.
Terry Hobbs,
Thank you.
so, the gas station that's out at, where,
272?
yeah,
The Blacklist property,
pardon?
surrounded by the Blacklist property?
Yes,
Yes.
when is that going to be taken care of?
Taken care of, meaning what? That's a separate property from the Black Horse property, you know that, I guess.
Yes.
You know, I guess as far as I would know, you know, as long as they pay their taxes and keep their lights on, what are we to do?
There's no pending applications, no plans, no nothing, no violations.
No zoning violations at this time either.
Okay, what I'm concerned about is the cleanup. Okay, there's contamination all over the place.
If they were to discontinue the use of the site
Yes,
as a gas station.
yes.
Yeah. I mean, if that day should come, yeah, but we would need to address it with them.
And that's overseen by DEP.
Correct. So there are regulations on how you retire underground tanks.
Yes, I'm familiar with all that topic. But they're going to put waterways in down below that.
Stormwater.
Yes. Are we sure it's going to be stormwater? Because it's a plastic that's going to get washed out here in this area.
So their presentation was that there was no wash down of the plastic recyclables, it was just repackaging. If you recall somebody asked them about that, because, was it Alan? You saw it on the website for the
Yeah.
company, and the presentation was that that's what they do at some of their sites, but this site did not include that.
Okay, because they have pretty many water areas around the area, and that's what I was wondering.
So are you talking about stormwater facilities?
Yeah,
Yeah, so even if they were doing a wash down process water could not be discharged to the stormwater system.
okay,
So
because
that
the
would've-
contaminated water that comes, like, that's already in the ground at the gas station, and that's gonna be permanently removed. See, I'm familiar with all this, okay, and my question is the man still around that owns the property?
That I don't know.
Because who's gonna do the cleanup if he's not around?
So, assuming there is a cleanup
Yes.
required, and that would be, determined at the time, and assuming that the cleanup includes subsurface water, it could just be soil. There would be an ongoing obligation to whoever retires the site, whoever the property owner is at the time, because the obligation follows the property, not the current owner.
Okay.
You're making an assumption that it's never going to open again as a gas station.
Right.
We don't know that.
So if the tanks are removed, it needs to be tested. If the testing shows that there's contamination in the soil, they need to excavate it, and typically they send it to the incinerator. If it is into a subsurface water course, then it's called a pump and treat, where they have to pump it out of the ground, treat it, and put it back into the ground. That's a rare remedy, but I've encountered it, and it's a very lengthy process with DEP in charge of it all. So, in truth, we have an interest in it being done at the township, but it's DEP that manages all of it.
And it's a little premature right now because it's
Yeah, we
still
don't
an
have,
active lot. They could open up in a week as another gas station.
and I can't tell you that I know what the regulations are, but there are required periodic testing of the tanks
Yeah.
for a pressure treatment.
We also talked about the tractor trailers coming out across the street from
Pepperidge.
Farm.
What about them?
Okay. There's enough land in between there to do all that?
To do what?
For an access.
The tractor trailers to come out?
Oh. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. I'm just,
yeah, no, I'm sorry, I wasn't following. We went from groundwater to access,
No, no,
and I missed your point, I apologize.
Where the
No,
log
that's-
cabin used to be, there's plenty of room there
Yeah.
for that to access.
Yeah. To public street standards, not access drive standards, is what we're requiring.
I'm just
Yep.
going over it. I know a little bit.
I mean,
about
those plans,
contamination,
those plans are available if you want to come in and have a look at them.
So,
We're not allowed to copy them for you, but we can make them available to you.
I'm taking your word for it, that's not a problem.
Yeah, that was,
Recording in progress.
were you here the night, and I apologize if I don't remember, were you here the night that they got their preliminary plan approved? Maybe not, because that was a substantial part of the conversation with our engineers on the design of that, what is functioning as an access drive for Wright Partners is being designed to public street standards.
No, I just don't want to fall back on the township when they clean up.
Understood.
That's going to get costly.
Well, if everything works out the way we all hope, it is going to be the township's responsibility, it's going to be a public street. But it's going to be a fully constructed, inspected, and approved public street in Class A condition before the township accepts dedication.
Any other questions?
Well, I have a couple. Last week, our legislators were at the West Cocalico at the Township building, and I attended, and several other local officials were there as well. And it was Dave Zimmerman he's our House of Representatives representative, as well as our state senator. His name slips my...
It's
Gerhard, thank you. So, they gave basically general update on what's happening up at the State House and Senate, and good presentation there. One thing struck me. There was a resident there from Reinhold's, and he had a couple comments on what Dave Zimmerman had to say, and he said, I really like living in this community. He said, this is a good place to live. And, it's not often you go to meetings and you hear good news.
I was waiting for the but.
No, there's no but. It was just, he was sincere, and it just, everybody kind of felt that warmth in what he had to say. So, it's good to hear some good news like that once in a while, and I just wanted to pass that along tonight. One other thing, there was, I wasn't able to be at the last meeting. My mother had passed away, and we had a service on Saturday, and it was well attended, and I just wanted to say a thank you to my board mate for coming. I appreciate the support of you coming to say hello and give me your condolences, and I appreciate you and what you do on this board, and I wanted to publicly thank you for that. You had another resident with you, but it's been a pleasure working with you and helping create a good team here, and I just wanted to say thank you.
Well, thank you.
So, I thought it fitting we have a little good news tonight. So anyway, enough of me.
Any other comments or questions? Yes, sir.
Ed Swigert Stevens. Is the roundabout still active?
I guess the best way to answer that is I don't think there was any funding in the budget for it this year. So it's still there. There's been nothing to really move ahead with.
So there was an idea.
As an idea.
Okay. One more. I had North Reamstown Road. I live across from the Kima Diner, and I gotta go around the block because I can't make a right turn. And I'm usually seeing traffic coming south on North Reamstown Road. And we got that signal on there, and it's usually 40, 45, and there was an officer at the Mennonite school when one went by. Perfect timing. They did a good job. Pass that on.
We'll pass that along. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Okay. The next Board of Supervisors meeting will be held March 16th at 9 a.m. It's one of our morning meetings, and it will be held at the Township Building in person and via Zoom. I get a motion to adjourn.
You've got a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that. Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 2-0. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.
My back was great.
We're making a discount rate of 175.